So this is how I code with AI and I integrate some tests into it. I start every single pull request, and with every single one, I always have a unit, a component, and an integration test. And as I'm doing those, I'm also working on some end-to-end tests. And every time the pull request gets created, I have a GitHub Actions, which will run all the tests in for just those unit component integrations and across the whole code base. And then that tells me basically if anything is broken on some other part of the code base from that pull request. So it's a good little safety net to have as you're coding. And the good thing about the AI is basically it can, if you give it this a really good cursor rule, it will be able to follow that exactly and then design its own tests and then be able to just start creating those and then testing it itself. And then this is like a 5 to 10 minute process that it does. You can observe its output and make sure that everything is the tests are testing what you think it is. But it's good to do that while you're also working on another part of that branch, and then that helps you to have more stable code. And then in the end, I try to just work on end-to-end tests, and those are the hardest ones because they take the longest, and they often require difficulty with mocking and things like that. So I don't require myself to have an end-to-end test done on every pull request, but by the end of the project, I want to have several end-to-end tests. So every time I do a pull request, I make sure that the end-to-end tests are at least being worked upon and there's some progress being made for each of them. So that by the end of end of the project, whatever you're working on, you'll have a few ready to go, and then you can put those into another pipeline that runs, every night, what you'd call a regression test to make sure that nothing breaks. Again, this is all just preventing things from breaking so that your code, as you code with AI, things stay stable, and you can only do so much of the code revision when you're coding with AI a lot of the time. So you have to set up these guardrails to ensure that things don't break. And this is just general development in general. This is not just related to AI, but it's specifically important when you're coding with AI.